Hey guys, MrStardustRicon here, and what is up? Welcome to a brand new playthrough. This is Mario Brothers. It's a little obscure game. No, I'm not even gonna try and beat around the bush. This is a game that basically every Let's Player has done, and I'm pretty sure out of like all the games on the internet, or like every game available, this is like the creed, I guess, like that beginners, hey, if you're gonna be a Let's Player, these are the games you do, and that's like Mario Brothers, probably like Ocarina of Time, maybe Sonic 2 or 3, I don't know. Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, somewhere, something like that. Those are like the games that are, you know, all the Let's Players will play, sort of thing. But, yeah. Why am I playing it? This isn't a stream, okay? You guys can see there's no layout, there's no nothing else. This isn't one of my old playthroughs, you can tell because of the quality of my mic. So what are we doing here? This is post commentary too, so you're not gonna have any of my usual grunts, I should say. What are we doing here? And the simple answer is padding. Yeah, I've got to pad a little bit for time because I have been neglecting the night playthrough stuff for the last week or week and a half or something. Like, I haven't been doing that shit, and I've been wanting to be a lot more consistent with that. So the fact that I haven't been, the fact that I've been really lazy with streaming kind of upsets me. So I want to make that change. I want to make that change right here and right now, and I'm doing that by doing a little side playthrough, a real quick playthrough, because this is only going to be like something like 2 parts. 2 parts, 3 at the most. And I doubt that we'll even get to that 3 mark. And if we do, then the second and third part are going to be super short on time, because, yeah, its own thing. Ooh! Okay, there's a reason for that. I forgot that I did that, but yeah, in case you didn't know, Mario 1 physics are incredibly stiff, and while you do have control over your jump midair, it's a lot more influence than actual control, I would say. You are once you are jumping forward, you are very much jumping forward, and there's not much you can really do about that. So yeah, you're gonna see me take a few jumps or take a few deaths because of that, take a few hits, something like that. And I should really get into that right now because some of you may have noticed, Stardust, you're playing this game really carefully, very slowly, like a grandma almost. And yeah, I very much am. I am not good at Mario 1. I've never been all too good at Mario 1, which is ironic because I feel like I'm pretty decent at lost levels, but I'm not good at this game. And you would say, Stardust, isn't that kind of backwards? Well, while I was growing up, yeah, just go ahead and tank the hit and just get to the axe as fast as you can. Let's get into my history with Mario a little bit here, because there's not really all too much to commentate over. This is just, you know, Mario 1 all over again. This is more of a podcast than anything else, I think. Which, I could go over some Mario 1 stuff, but first, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of my experience with Mario 1, because it isn't all too much. While I was growing up, I had actually 3 different ways of being able to play Mario 1. The first and the one that I have the most experience with was the cartridge, the Super Mario All-Stars cartridge. Just the regular one, the standard one, not the one with the Super Mario World included on it. But yeah, I spent a lot of time playing that game as a kid, that collection as a kid, and I loved it. And that's like one of the real reasons, besides me being bad and just wanting the saves and the continues, because I am cutting out quite a bit of failure in this as well, because there is quite a bit of death and quite a bit of game overs that I'm, not quite a bit, but like a decent amount of game overs that I'm cutting out on this too. So like that's its own thing. And that's the convenience, quality of life, all that sort of stuff make the All-Stars version of me just the much better version to record, and it's always been the one that I've been familiar with. Whenever I go back to 8-bit Mario 1, it feels a lot more foreign than it should, because I never grew up playing the 8-bit Mario 1, except on the other 2 avenues that I had playing Mario 1, which was emulation stuff between either my dad or my uncle or something getting some sort of emulation machine, like modding their PS2s or something like that. It was, or there, actually, we had a modded Dreamcast originally, and we had a, like, I don't even remember, it was like a burned ROM or something that had a whole bunch of NES games on it, and that was fun. But yeah. Oh god, I hate bloopers. I really hate. I'm not one to hate water levels. I love water levels usually. That's kind of blasphemous. There's a lot of things that I'm probably gonna say that are gonna be pretty blasphemous, I think. But yeah, I had. I hate bloopers specifically because they always seem to trap you. But yeah, that's my experience with Mario 1 in a nutshell. I played this game quite a bit on the All-Stars collection, on the original cartridge quite a bit, but I had always played everything else more than I had played Mario 1. Well, besides Mario 2 USA, because I didn't like Mario 2 USA, and I still don't like Mario 2 USA. I think that's best saved for the Mario 2 USA playthrough when I get to it, probably. Ugh, God. I'm gonna get to it sooner rather than later, because I've got a chronology boner. Just a little bit of a chronology boner. And I love... So, I want to get to all these games. Like, you know, one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm sure anybody that's familiar with me, one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario World. So, I want to get to Super Mario World at one point. But to do that, and to satiate my own need for chronology and order in my channel, I have to go through Super Mario Bros. 2 USA first. But yeah, besides Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, I played Lost Levels and I played Super Mario Bros. 3 a hell of a lot more than Super Mario Bros. 1. And you might be asking, Stardust, why did you play Lost Levels over Mario 1? It's so much of a harder game, and there's so much more bullshit, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, all the regular reasons you would say for, you know, not liking Lost Levels, which are completely valid, I feel. There's a lot of bullshit in that game. But to my little, how old was I when I was playing Mario? When I played All-Stars, I was probably around 4 or 5? 4 to, like, 6, I'd say, is, like, the time I spent playing this game. And, yeah, because of... Oh, I forgot you could get up here. I didn't know I could get up there. And I pay the price for it. But yeah. To my 4 to 6 year old mind that was playing All-Stars, I saw something that said Lost Levels. And that meant to me, we either never got these levels or they were always hidden. So I wanted to play those more because the secret tickled my young curiosity. And because of that, I always ended up playing Lost Levels a lot more than I played Mario Bros. 1. Which unfortunately turned me into the archaic dinosaur that I am with this. You seriously, like, I am, my skill level while not on that same avenue. Like, you know how older people are when it comes to video games? Like, if you hand, like, your grandma, or if you have... Let's ignore that. That was my fault. If you give, like, the paddle to your, like, either grandparents, or if you have older parents or that didn't grow up during this time period, because I have younger parents, and man, I panicked hard there. I am not good. This is pretty much exemplifying what I was saying. It's pretty comparable, I think. I like to think that I have my finger off the run button a lot, because momentum... Okay, as you just saw there, this is the perfect... Good job, past Stardust, for segueing into the things I need you to segue into just at the time you need it. The momentum's hard in this, so I don't like running. That's why we just got the running power up that turns you invisible, and fucking go make a mad dash and don't stop running, because if you do, you're gonna lose type thing. Because who doesn't want to do it? Oh, this is the chance for the infinite one-ups, and I missed it. I biffed it. I've never been good at that. But yeah, I take my finger off the run button quite a bit just to stabilize myself, because momentum is a bitch, and I feel like a lot of my deaths come because I end up just holding on the run button and don't let go, and because of that, I lose control, and I start panicking, and I start jumping when I don't need to, because you don't really want to be, despite his original name, Jumpman, Mario Jumpman, you don't really want to be jumping. Like, to me, like, the jumps are supposed to be a lot more well-placed. It's not Castlevania. I've already talked about the jumps being stiff before. It's not like, oh, man, rip that star. It's not Castlevania stiff by any means, but I still take the same mindset that I have with Castlevania, and that's we need to plan our jumps, and it isn't as freeform or as flowing as something like Mario 3 or Mario World, where you are a lot more in control of your jumps, and they're a lot more floaty to where you can always have control, where you always feel in control. Mario won the control, not that it's taken away from you, but you need a plan. You need a set a strict plan, a guideline, something along those lines. Because if you don't plan for this type of shit, then man, you can have a really rough time. And that's unfortunately the time that I have whenever I do go and try and hold the run button and just go all willy-nilly. Because I will slip and fall off the ledge. I will jump into an enemy. I will not make my jump because I jumped too early type thing. I feel like there's a lot of planning. And that's honestly why I feel like I am pretty decent at lost levels, because, ooh, this is bad. This is a bad situation. I think I'm gonna bump my head on this. Yep. See, that was a case of me not having enough momentum. Oh man. But yeah, I feel like that's why I'm pretty decent at lost levels, is because I do take my time a lot more. Like, granted, I always grew up with the All-Stars version, which has basically the lives are just for show, because besides for the checkpoint, which goes away after a while. You basically have infinite lives in lost levels. So part of it could be trial and error, and just me being able to bang my head against that brick wall until I bash my head through it and break through to the other side of the brick wall, which only contains another brick wall, which is worlds A through D, or whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like I do a little bit better with that, just because I always have been the type of person in Mario World, or Mario 1 and Mario Lost Levels, to take my time and be able to do this. Even though it can be painful to watch, I'm sure. Look at this little asshole that's just walking at 2 miles per second. 2 miles per second? No, that's a lot faster. That would be, what is that? That's 120 miles per hour. God damn. See, there's the running jump that gets me gimped. Good job. Good job proving my point past me. Always love doing that. We're so in sync you would think we were the same person. But yeah, I tend to take my time a lot on this. And it helps. It helps quite a bit. But let's talk about actually Mario. Let's talk about like Mario Brothers 1. Let's talk about where we are in this game, because I've been going on and on about outside factors and things like that. Maybe a few touching on things like the controls, but yeah, this is a pretty simple game. You move right, you jump, and you whenever there's power-ups. It's the basic structure to a lot of different NES platformers of the time, which became a huge thing because of this game, which basically like set out and made the genre what it is a 2D platformer, the 2D mascot platformer. Nope. Okay, fuck it, we're good. But yeah, so this game, like I said, is a point A to point B platformer, side-scrolling. Not much in the way of exploration. You're getting to the end of the stage each time, and each time there's different level gimmicks between just a flat plains like what you see here, and don't really have much in the way of like overall gimmicks like you would see in the later series, but there's a few different ones where it's more of a platform heavy level, like what we saw on, like, I don't even know what to call it, like the level where it has like a whole bunch of pulley devices and things that you're supposed to control. There's water levels that you can do, and at the end there are 4 stages in each world, and at stage 4 there is a castle level, which is more of a how do I explain this? It's more of a it's more of, not a gauntlet, but it is supposed to challenge you. It's like a dungeon, if you want to compare it to an RPG, where it's there to challenge you and see if you can overcome its challenges. I'm very bad at explaining this. It's filled with lava. It's filled with fire bars. Lots of lava balls popping out and trying to hit you. All the fun stuff, I suppose. And because of that, they're at the end, including a boss fight with Bowser each time. Ooh. All right, good job, me. as dexterous as dexterous. I don't know that word. As athletic or nimble as a swan, as it were. Incredibly awful. But regardless of that, you have a boss fight with Bowser, which you can get rid of with one of two ways, and that's either touching the axe at the back of the stage, or it is to just blast him with fireballs, because there are power-ups. There are two different power-ups in this. There are the regular Super Mushroom, which turns you into Super Mario, the big lad that we have here, or the Fire Flower, which gives you a projectile attack to work with, which is really nice, especially when you're taking your time like you do with me, and you're able to just blast everything in front of you, because you can only have two of them on screen, so it's a lot more. When you're trying to run, they can just sometimes go over enemies, they can go between enemies, something like that. So when you're going slow, you can definitely get the most of it. And here we see my own cautiousness, rather, that, like, yeah, you could really tell, like, a normal player would probably just, like, run, jump off that and, like, be good, but I don't trust that type of stuff. I really don't. I feel like I'm just gonna plop down. The will of God is just gonna fucking slap me in the back of the head while I'm jumping, and I'm gonna fall to my death. That's why I don't trust that type of shit. And if they give me a ledge to jump off of into a much better position where there's not something placed immediately above my head, then I'm gonna take advantage of that as best as I can. But yeah, this is we're almost around the halfway mark, and we're getting there pretty fast. Mario 1 is a pretty short game if you either know what you're doing or cutting out all your fuck-ups. Speaking of cutting things out, there we go. I remember I got a call there. But yeah, Mario 1's a pretty short game. We're now at the halfway point, which actually throws a new little gimmick at us, which is going to be interesting to see, I suppose. Not fun, I don't think, because honestly, these can be pretty annoying, especially in the original. The gimmick of this is actually that this castle is a maze. This castle is a maze, and you're supposed to take a specific pathway in order to get through the maze. If you take the correct pathway, you just heard that chime, and that's how you know you made the right choice, and you're able to continue on. However, you have to get multiple of those right in a row. So we have to get 2 right in a row in this instance, which this one pattern is up and then the bottom route. Unfortunately, if you mess that up and take a route that you're not supposed to, you have to start all the way from the beginning again. And this was made even more annoying in the original, the NES version of the game, because there was no chime to indicate, hey, you did good. But instead there was just blank silence, and you could only know that you were doing good by the level changing in front of you. Which to call annoying would be doing it a little bit of a disservice, because, man, it is a pain not knowing that you fucked up, especially in lost levels, but we're not talking about that game right now. So when you don't have that little indicator, it is a lot more annoying. But with the indicator, you will hear a buzzer if you get it wrong, and you can just kind of push through it a lot easier. This is actually, I'm pretty sure this is where things start getting a little bit more samey. Maybe I might be thinking of a different thing. But yeah, this is another thing that I forgot to mention because I haven't brought it up yet, or they haven't shown it yet. Occasionally, the pipes that you see around are going to be able to you're able to go down the pipe, and when you go down to the pipe, you'll either see you'll just see a little bonus area right there where you can get some coins. There's a few of those around. I don't know where all of them are. I know where like 2 of them are in the game, and that one pipe was one of them, because that was pretty conspicuous if you ask me. There's also a sky version of the bonus rooms, which actually you need to take an ivy plant up into the sky for, but I'm not going to be showing any of those off because mostly I forget where they all are. Now, this is a level. This level is going to be pretty much the bane of my existence because this level introduces Hammer Brothers, and oh, so annoying. Well, that one isn't even the Hammer Brothers' fault. That was more my own neglectfulness. Yeah, the most annoying enemy to deal with in Mario Brothers 1. Mostly because if you don't have the Fire Flower, you don't have any way to get rid of them. And they throw hammers. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Okay. This is where we can see my panic coming in. I'm very quickly realizing that I'm panicking very hard and I need to slow down. But yeah, Hammer Brothers and the hammers that they throw get thrown in the exact arc that you're always wanna be jumping in, and to jump on them. And because of that, they can be incredibly annoying to deal with, because there's no surefire way to actually kill them. Unless you just got the hammer timing down, but the hammer timing, as far as I know, seems slightly random. Don't know if it's on a set thing. They sometimes jump, and that can set off your little plan of attack, and it becomes a lot harder. Especially, I believe, I don't remember if this is true or not, but I believe if you sit around for a while just in front of a hammer brother, it will start chasing you, so you can't deliberate your things for too long. But I might be wrong on that. I might be thinking of lost levels. But I could have swore when we raced this game on the Discord that happened to Batter, but maybe not. And also, this is where it's definitely getting a little bit samey. Did someone turn up the World 1 in here? Yeah, this is World 1-3 once again. Just this time, instead of, you know, no super big obstacles, instead we have all these bullet bills that are flying through the sky, seemingly random positions as well. Because they're not following you, I don't think, despite those last 3 looking like you're following you. Because I've definitely had times where you're at the top of the screen and shoots to the bottom of the screen. So I don't think they necessarily follow you. Yeah, but yeah, they start to get a little copy and paste in here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not even, okay, world environments or anything that can copy and paste it, because that's just a limitation thing. That was, you know, the first of its kind type thing. No, instead we're also getting just level gimmicks that are getting repeated, and that was momentum fucking me over. But we're almost done here with this video. 5-4. This is where they really start turning up the hazards in the castle. I could have gotten that mushroom, but I couldn't have, because that fire bar was huge. It was absolutely huge. There was nothing I can do about it. And here we see Grandma Stardust making his way through. But yeah, we're almost done here, so... Ooh, I don't know how I passed through that platform, but okay. Well, I survived and nothing was lost. Just take my time here, and we should be all good. I've been incredibly taking my time. I don't want anything to deal with this, because I'm scared that the moment I jump over that fireball, I'm gonna get fucking anti-aired to hell and back. But we can't. We don't have any type of thing to just tank the hit, so we gotta actually make through this completely the way we were supposed to, like we do there. All right, that'll mark the end of 5-4 and the end of this video. So I want to thank everyone who watched this video. This was just a bit of filler and a lot of me just rambling to myself. But thank everyone who watched, and I will see you guys with the conclusion of Mario Brothers 1 next time. Take care, guys.